5 real businesses, 5 real owners, 5 stories of going from barely surviving to over $1 million. And the only thing they all had in common? They used AI at the right moment, in the right way. Today I'm taking you inside all 5 of these transformations, the specific tools they used, the exact moves they made, and the results they achieved. Because if they could do it, so can you. Before I get into the stories, let me tell you why I chose these 5. I didn't choose the biggest companies. I didn't choose the ones with the most resources or the most connections. I chose the ones that started from the most ordinary places, because those are the stories that actually matter to most people watching this. A single mom running a bakery, a landscaper with 3 employees, a freelance graphic designer working from her spare bedroom, a local gym owner post-pandemic, a real estate agent in a mid-sized city. None of them were tech people. None of them had backgrounds in AI. None of them had large budgets or investor backing. What they had was a willingness to try something different at a moment when their businesses needed it most, and AI gave them the leverage to turn that willingness into extraordinary results. Here are their stories. Story number 1, Sarah's Bakery. In January 2025, Sarah was 3 months away from closing her bakery. She'd been running it for 7 years. She had loyal local customers. Her product was genuinely excellent, but she was drowning in operational chaos. Custom orders were getting lost. Pricing was inconsistent. Her social media was non-existent. She had no system for tracking which products were most profitable. And she was working 14-hour days, exhausted, overwhelmed, and watching her savings disappear. Her accountant told her straight, if the next 3 months don't improve, close it. That's when Sarah discovered AI, not because she was tech-savvy, because she was desperate. Here's exactly what she did. Step 1, she used Claude to build a complete custom order system, a structured intake form that captured every detail about each order, automatically generated a price quote, and sent a confirmation to the customer. What previously took her 20 minutes of back and forth per order now took 3 minutes. Step 2, she used Make.com to automate her social media. Every week, Claude generated 7 days of Instagram content based on her seasonal menu. Make.com scheduled and published it automatically. Within 90 days, her Instagram went from 340 followers to 4,200. Step 3, she used AI analytics to identify her most profitable products. The insight was shocking. Her 3 best-selling items, the ones that took the most time to make, had the lowest profit margins. Her custom wedding cake tier, which she'd always treated as secondary, had a 340% higher margin than her everyday items. She restructured her entire business around high-margin custom orders, stopped making low-margin everyday items, raised prices 30% across the board. Customers didn't leave. They valued the product at the price she charged. 12 months after almost closing, Sarah's bakery revenue had grown from $180,000 per year to $1.1 million. She went from 1 location to adding a second, from 3 employees to 11, and she now works 8-hour days instead of 14. The AI investment? Under $50 per month. Story number 2, Marcus and his landscaping company. Marcus had been in landscaping for 12 years. He had 3 employees, a beat-up truck, and a reputation for good work in his local area. His revenue had plateaued at $180,000 per year for 3 consecutive years. He was working constantly, but couldn't seem to break through to the next level. The problem was simple, but he couldn't see it from inside. He was spending 40% of his working hours on tasks that had nothing to do with landscaping, answering quote requests, following up with leads who didn't respond, scheduling crews, invoicing clients, ordering supplies, managing equipment maintenance schedules. He was an excellent landscaper, running a terrible business. AI changed that. Here's the transformation. Month 1, Marcus used Claude to build a complete quoting system. Customers filled out a form on his website. Claude analyzed the form, asked follow-up questions automatically, and generated a professional quote in his voice, complete with timeline, scope of work, and pricing. His response time to new inquiries, previously 2 to 3 days. After Under 4 hours, automatically. His conversion rate on quotes doubled. Month 2, he used Make.com to automate his entire follow-up sequence. Leads who didn't respond to quotes got a personalized follow-up. At day 3, day 7, and day 14. The day 14 follow-up included a seasonal urgency message. We're booking spring slots now. Only 3 spots left in your area. His close rate on dormant leads went from 8% to 31%. Month 3, he used AI to systematize crew scheduling, supply ordering, and equipment maintenance. He went from managing everything in his head and on sticky notes to having a complete operational system that ran largely without his involvement. The result of these 3 months, Marcus went from $180,000 per year to $1.4 million in 18 months. He now has 14 employees. 2 trucks became 6. He serves commercial accounts that he previously couldn't even bid for because he didn't have the systems to manage that scale. AI didn't make Marcus a better landscaper. He was already excellent at that. AI gave him the business infrastructure to be paid what his work was worth. Story number 3, Priya. Priya was a freelance graphic designer, working from her spare bedroom, charging $35 per hour for brand identity and logo design. She was good at her craft, but she was trapped by the fundamental math of trading time for money. 24 hours in a day. She could work maybe 8 to 10 billable hours. At $35 per hour, a ceiling of $350 per day, $70,000 per year maximum. And she was already exhausted, trying to reach that ceiling. The AI transformation started when she noticed something. Her clients weren't paying for her time. They were paying for outcomes. A logo that attracts customers. A brand identity that communicates trust. Visual content that converts browsers to buyers. The time she spent was irrelevant. The result was everything. AI let her decouple the two. Here's what Priya built. She used Midjourney and Claude to build a rapid concept generation system. In the past, developing 3 initial concepts for a client took her 12 to 15 hours. With AI, she could generate 20 concept directions in 2 hours, refine the best 3 in another 2 hours, and present genuinely excellent options in 4 hours total. Her time investment dropped by 70%. Her output quality increased because AI allowed her to explore more directions than she could have manually. She raised her prices dramatically, not to $35 per hour, to $3,500 per project minimum. Clients didn't blink because the quality of what she delivered was better than before and faster. Then she did something smart. She stopped being a freelancer and became an agency. She used AI to produce the equivalent of 5 designers' output while billing as an agency at agency rates. Within 14 months, Priya went from $70,000 per year, working alone at $35 per hour, to $1.2 million running a 3-person AI-powered design agency. She still does design, but she now directs AI, rather than competing with people who charge less per hour. Story number 4, Carlos and his gym. Carlos opened his gym in 2019. Then the pandemic happened. By 2021, he had survived, but just barely. He owed $180,000 on the build-out. His membership base was 40% of what he'd projected before the pandemic. And now, in 2023 and 2024, the big chains were back. Planet Fitness, Crunch, LA Fitness, all with lower prices, more equipment and bigger marketing budgets. Carlos had something they didn't: personal relationships with his members. But relationships don't pay rent. AI helped him turn those relationships into a business model that crushed the chains. Here's what he did. First, he used AI to analyze every member's attendance, behavior, and engagement patterns. He discovered something crucial. Members who attended at least 3 times in their first 2 weeks almost never canceled. Members who went 2 weeks without visiting in their first month canceled at a rate of 67%. So he built an AI-powered early warning system. Every member who went 10 days without visiting got a personalized outreach generated by Claude in Carlos's voice. A genuine check-in from Carlos, asking how they were doing, whether they'd hit any obstacles, whether there was anything he could do. Not a generic promotional email, a personal message. His member retention rate went from 58% annually to 84% annually. That single change, keeping 26% more members per year, was worth $340,000 in additional annual revenue. Then he went further. He used AI to create a complete personalized training guidance system, sending each member weekly workout suggestions based on their goals, their attendance history, and their preferences. Members felt like they had a personal trainer included in their membership. They told friends. Referrals tripled. Carlos went from 340 members, barely covering his cost, to 1,100 members generating $1.3 million annually. The big chains couldn't compete because they couldn't personalize at scale. Carlos could, using AI. Story number 5, Jennifer. Jennifer was a real estate agent in Columbus, Ohio, the same city we talked about earlier, with 6 years of experience and a solid but unremarkable career. She was closing 18 to 22 deals per year, good for a solo agent. But she watched the top agents in her market, the ones doing 60, 70, 80 deals per year, and noticed something. They weren't better real estate agents than her. They had bigger audiences. They had YouTube channels, email lists, social followings, people who knew and trusted them before they ever needed an agent. Jennifer decided to build that audience, but she had a problem. She had no idea how to create content, no experience on camera, no time between client work, no budget to hire a team. AI solved every one of those problems. Here's what she built. She used Claude to create a complete content strategy, specifically for real estate in Columbus. 20 video topics, 40 blog post ideas, a 6-month email nurture sequence, a complete social media calendar, all generated by AI, all in one afternoon. She used 11 labs to create a professional voiceover, 4 market update videos, weekly 5-minute videos covering Columbus real estate trends. She used Clipchamp to assemble the videos using local neighborhood footage from pixels combined with market data charts. She used Make.com to automatically publish her content across YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn on a consistent schedule, without her manually doing anything. Within 6 months, her YouTube channel had 4,200 subscribers. Her email list had 1,800 people. Her social media following had tripled. And here's what that audience meant. Instead of cold calling and door knocking, people came to her. They'd watched her videos for months. They trusted her. They already knew she was the expert. Closing rate on her warm leads, 89%. Her transaction volume went from 20 deals per year to 67 deals per year in 18 months, at an average commission of $15,000 per deal. That's a jump from $300,000 to $1,005,000 in annual income from one agent, working alone, using AI to build the audience that the top agents in her market had spent 20 years developing. She compressed 20 years of brand building into 18 months using AI. 5 different businesses, 5 completely different industries, 5 completely different starting points, one common thread through all of them. They didn't use AI to replace what made their business special. Sarah's baking was still excellent. Marcus's landscaping was still excellent. Priya's design talent was still extraordinary. Carlos's relationships with members were still genuine. Jennifer's real estate knowledge was still real. AI gave all of them the same thing: the operational infrastructure to be paid what their excellence was worth, the systems to scale what they were good at, the time to focus on what only they could do, the reach to find the customers who needed exactly what they offered. That's what AI actually does for small businesses in 2026. It doesn't replace the human element. It amplifies it. And the businesses that understand this, that use AI to amplify their unique strengths, rather than chase generic efficiency, those are the businesses that go from struggling to $1 million. Now, I want to ask you something. What is the unique strength in your business that AI could amplify? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one, and I'm going to feature the most interesting answers in an upcoming video. And if this video inspired you, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell, because every week I bring you real AI strategies from real businesses, not theory, not hype, real results. I'll see you in the next one.